House. Hello. A very warm welcome to all our friends, viewers, stakeholders, fans of Africa Rise with Susan West. Welcome to a beautiful Saturday. It is very cold here in London today, but I'm sure you have beautiful warm weather you know, um, to play around with back home in Nigeria and the rest of Africa. So welcome, and this is Africa Rise with Susan West. And as you join this broadcast, do the needful, which is create watch parties, invite your friends, like, follow, subscribe to our channels. If you're watching from YouTube, do not forget to subscribe and press the bell button when you do so. And so today's topic is really interesting, but our special guest today is going to be anyone who is interested, who is watching, who wants to call in or come on screen. We will make sure that you're able to come on screen to give your opinion on today's matter, which is about Nigeria's government banning cryptocurrency and the Lekki, Occupy Lekki protest, which should have happened today. We'll take a commercial break and we'll be right back.
It's been a great pleasure being on Africa Rise and the fact that you focus on African problems, African issues. And I would urge you to continue. And I hope that more and more people pay attention to the leaders that you bring to speak on Africa Rise, and that this will translate into some change for the better for our continent. Congratulations.
Okay! This is your numero uno, and my name is Charlie Boy, the area father. You're the very one of Africa and the president of all frustrated Nigerians. Keep it real with Susan West. Yes, these are the channel where they like to watch when I won't get sent. You know?
Africa Rise with Susan West.
Welcome back. Yes, and so of course our topic of discussion today is the ban on cryptocurrency in Nigeria and the Occupy Lekki toll gate protest that was slated for today, Saturday. But before we go on, I just want to play a video from some news stations back home in Nigeria, channels, television news, and Arise News. And then we will take it from there.
To close all cryptocurrency-related accounts, the regulator prohibited all financial institutions from facilitating cryptocurrency payments in the country. This directive is contained in a letter addressed to all deposit money banks, non-bank financial institutions, and other financial institutions on Friday. According to the letter, Payments System of Management Department, the Apex Bank, directed all DMBs, NBFIs, and OFIs should identify persons and entities transacting in or operating cryptocurrency exchanges within their systems to close such accounts immediately. But what does this mean to the larger Nigerian economy, or the pockets of the average Nigerian, or those who have made investments in it? Because I know it's not a lot of Nigerians who have made, but not all Nigerians have made investments in it. But some reactions have followed that directive. One of the popular ones is that of the former Vice President, Atiku Abubakar. And part of the statement he released over the weekend, and let me quote part of that statement for you. It says, quote, already the nation suffered severe economic losses from the border closure and the effects of the COVID-19 pandemic. This is definitely the wrong time to introduce policies that will restrict
I wanted us to have a discussion on what's going on so far with Bitcoin and so on and so forth. You've already heard, of course, a lot of people back home who are invested in cryptocurrency, of course, didn't have enough time to make a decision on what to do. Hey, Diane Medway, welcome, welcome, welcome. On what to do concerning their investment in Bitcoin. When you go do a little bit of research, you find out that Nigeria comes just next to the United States of America as far as cryptocurrencies go. So it means that there are loads of Nigerians, there are many Nigerians who are invested in cryptocurrency of some sort. And so it was perplexing that the government didn't even give any sort of warning, any sort of didn't warn anyone they were going to do that. They just woke up one morning and decided they were going to ban cryptocurrency in Nigeria, and that came to everyone as a shock. But before we go ahead, I want to go ahead and play the former assistant director of the CBN, Professor Mogalu's reaction to the ban of cryptocurrency in Nigeria.
Ruben, cryptocurrencies are simply one more facet of a process that continues throughout history, which is innovation. Let me remind you that paper money, or what we call fiat money, which is legal tender, as ordered by governments, has not always been in existence throughout creation. The first paper money, or the first fiat money, came about in the 11th century, and it was issued in China by the Yuan dynasty, and that's why the Chinese currency is called the yuan. Now, starting from the 18th or 17th centuries, paper money became more prevalent across the world, and has had its ups and downs, but still remains the main form of currency in the world today. So the point I'm making is that cryptocurrencies are virtual currencies that people use online to purchase goods and services, but you cannot obtain a cryptocurrency without using legal tender to obtain cryptocurrency. But cryptocurrency's value is not aligned to the normal legal tender. It has a value that is all its own, and some people would say it's not backed by any fundamentals. But there are many reasons why it is popular now. One of them is that many people around the world just want the freedom to be able to exchange value without having to go through the restrictions of fiat money that is issued by central banks. Also, there's a political dimension because it's called freedom money. Many people around the world who are protesting for human rights, or when regimes try to restrict their rights, because cryptocurrencies they don't go through central banks, they find that they are able to still communicate with themselves and do transactions that bypass sovereign authorities. So this is one of the reasons. Another reason cryptocurrency is very popular, increasingly, is that fiat money, all fiat money, always is subject to depreciation in value because of inflation. But so far, this doesn't seem to be the case with cryptocurrencies, because they have fixed, limits up front. For example, Bitcoin, which is the most popular cryptocurrency, has a total stock of about $560-something billion. So in the world today, there is a
the funny thing is, I watched the video of one of the lawmakers in Abuja. His argument, I cannot remember his name, unfortunately. His argument was that the Bitcoin sales and cryptocurrency is the reason Nigerian naira is devalued. And I just thought, wow, how ignorant can someone sound? And you are supposed to be a lawmaker in Nigeria. Nkosazana and Glovo, welcome. How can a lawmaker elected into office to represent his people be that ignorant to blame the depreciation of cryptocurrency, the Nigerian naira, on Bitcoin. You know, there are people who have come on to talk about the reason why the government is taking this action is because, of course, during the first NSAS protests, when they tried to, what's the word now? When they tried to, they closed the accounts of the people who they thought was sponsoring the NSAS protest. Everyone went online, and Bitcoin was what was used to sponsor and take care of the needs of the people who were involved in the NSAS protest. That being said, you heard Professor Moghalu explain what cryptocurrency is. Before the inception of cryptocurrencies from 2009, I believe, Nigeria's naira have been in constant depreciation. And if Nigeria's naira have been in constant depreciation since time immemorial, how is Bitcoin responsible for devaluing the naira? It doesn't make sense. First of all, what are the factors that influence the strength of a country's legal tender or money? Even from primary school, they will teach you that when your country is a heavy importer of goods and services, everything you eat, you drink, everything is imported into the country, you will have very little value for your legal tender, for your money. And if Nigeria have failed to evolve with time and cannot be able to look for ways to make sure that her economy is fixed and the value of the naira just keeps depreciating, how then do you blame it on cryptocurrency? Welcome, WSR1.1.tv. So right now, as we are on, you're free to call in on WhatsApp. All you need to do as a flash guest, if you want to come on screen live, as opposed to calling, you just message us on our WhatsApp number, flash guest. Just say flash guest as you message us, and we will send you the link to come on live to make your contributions. Otherwise, you can call in now on +44 7459 349175 to make your contributions. Okay, so it is so ignorant of a lawmaker to come up and blame Bitcoin for the reason why the Nigerian naira have lost value. And so I know that it came to a lot of Nigerians as a shock, waking up in the morning, not giving enough time. There are a few countries in the world who ban cryptocurrency or Bitcoin, but such countries had the opportunity, the people there had the opportunity to decide what they wanted to do because they were given ample time to do so by their government. In Nigeria, it's like a witch hunt, It's like they just go to bed, they sit down, and they just begin to think of ways they can hurt the people, do things to make their life miserable, just anything so that when the people wake up, they're waking up to sadness, Because how can you explain that you just wake up, the CBN governor and the National Assembly and the president just all three of them thought the same thing at the same time and just went ahead and decided that they were going to ban it? Of course, they had moments, they had time to talk about these things, but they didn't think that the Nigerian people should be respected in the regard of coming on to say, this is what we intend to do. And so if you are one of the people who are invested in Bitcoin or any other kind of cryptocurrency, where you're no longer going to be, it's no longer going to be legal in Nigeria to operate a cryptocurrency. And it's a shame that they will do that, because according to what Professor Moghalu was saying, in as much as cryptocurrency exists somewhere in the clouds where the government don't have control over it, you still need naira or real money to purchase cryptocurrency, which means that Nigeria still stands to gain by the time you are converting your Bitcoin back to naira, because at some point you're going to pay tax anyway. So how ignorant can a government be on issues like this? These are one of the things we suffer when we're left with very old people who are clueless, who have lost touch with the trends of what's going on now. Even today, I read that Kenya have now legalized cryptocurrency in their country. So everyone else is looking forward, moving forward, coming up with innovative ideas. Only Nigeria seems to be going backwards. For how long are we going to keep doing this? But we all know that the cancellation, the ban on cryptocurrency it's a vindictive act. We know, because they cannot explain it otherwise. They say it's because they want to control how it's used in an illicit form. Of course, as a government, you should be able to know who is using their monies, even the fiat money, like Professor Mogalo called it, is monies that can be used to sponsor terrorism and all sorts of crimes. Precious Olu, welcome. Yes, rightly said, we are left with clueless old people as leaders. Absolutely, because if we had young people in positions of authority, and there is a challenge of terrorism, of crime being committed because monies are being laundered through this, they will then know how to tackle it. So as we go on, remember that you can call us on +44 7459 349175, or you can message us, flash guests, and come on screen really quickly. Let's do justice to this issue. And another thing is, I'm going to quickly show a picture of President Muhammadu Buhari protesting a few years ago when we had President Goodluck Jonathan as the president of Nigeria. I'm just going to show that picture. The reason I'm going to show that picture is because on that premise, we will then discuss what is going on with the Lekki protests today. Right. Bring me that. Can you see that? That was President Muhammadu Buhari protesting. What was the reason he was protesting? I can't even remember, because what was going on in Nigeria at that time is not half as bad as it is right now. But he was allowed to protest. The point is, he was allowed to protest. Nobody intimidated him. Nobody sent thugs after him. Nobody sent the police or the army with his crew when they were protesting. Now we come to under his regime, I will call it, because it doesn't look like we're in a democracy anymore. It still feels like we're in some kind of military regime where the dictator just wakes up in the morning, he's not in a good mood. And because he's not in a good mood, he decides what he wants to do to the people, and nobody can say anything about it. So the young people came out at some point in October to protest at Lekki tollgate. They were army and police was sent to deal with them. Lives were lost, and then they come up with this panel to look into it. We all knew it wasn't genuine. We all knew that it was going to end up in some kind of charade or whatever they call it. The truth is, these people woke up. The young people again have woken up and decided that we will go back to the toll gate, because you cannot go back to business as usual when young people lost their lives, not because they were violent. They were protesting peacefully, and the police was sent there. The army was sent there to shoot and kill them. And so these people say, we're going to reconvene at the Lekki toll gate. You cannot start going about your business as usual, like nothing happened, with the drama going on at the panel. And so what happens? I'm just going to play a short video of what happened this morning as the protesters came in trickles. The first set of ones that came in were arrested and put in a black van. So let me just play this.
How are you asking me now? Why are you harassing me? Take his hand. Come here, this man. Open this thing,
one with the some of the people who were taken into the van. This one.
Yo, Mondo, go, and you in person. Put your face for that. Put your face for that. Put your face for that. Come, are you a musician? Hey, you with tattoo? Huh? This man, go join that one for Mr. Macaroni. Go join them there. What put you into this mess now? Which mess? They know what they are doing now. Go why Joko by. Go why Joko by. Go why Joko by. Why Joko by. Come and sit down here. Sit down here.
Can you see that? Can you see what's going on in Nigeria? Nigeria, Ellie Bricks from Switzerland. Thank you for joining. Yes. Who's this? West Gifts. Oh, welcome. You know, isn't it a shame that Nigeria is a country where the law-abiding citizens are the ones criminalized or made to look like criminals, when the criminals are taken and fed and celebrated and given amnesty for killing people, for killing innocent villagers, for terrorizing. Basically, they just terrorized the entire country, and then they brought into government houses and fed and clothed and given scholarships of some sort. But the ordinary citizens who just cry out for the injustices meted on them, are then made to feel like the real criminals. I saw one of the boys during the protest when one of the foreign journalists, asked him a question if he was scared or something about around that area of being arrested. He said he wasn't afraid anymore. He said he trekked, meaning he walked all the way from Surulere to Lekki toll gate. He didn't have any food in his house. He was hungry. Basically, this is someone who have nothing to live for. This is someone who has nothing to live for because his only crime is that he was born in Nigeria, that he is a Nigerian. That's the only crime he's committed. So they're going to arrest this young man who doesn't look anything older than 20 years old. They will take him and lock him up, and heaven knows if he comes from a family who can then even go ahead to look for him to try to bail him if they will let that happen. But that's the kind of Nigeria we're talking about. That's the kind of Nigeria that we have right now. In Nigeria, where innocent people, what kind of cowardice is this anyway? Isn't it a cowardly act that you go after people who are harmless, people who are just not carrying weapons? All they're doing is raise their voices to speak up, to say that we are tired of this inequality, this injustice, and all the rubbish that goes on in the country unabated. And then as I was watching that video, all I could think of was, how is this boy going to end up? So do you know, for people who don't understand the distance of walking from Surulere, I wonder how early that boy woke up from his home to trek all the way down to Lekki toll gate. For Nigerians who understand the distance, they can understand That's what it meant. That's how much it meant for him to be there. You know, welcome, Justina Dasa Okurere. Welcome. And so once again, of course, if you would like to contribute, you can call us on +44 7459 Call us on WhatsApp, or you can text message flash guest to the same WhatsApp number, and we will bring you up on screen. You know, it's such a shame. It's such a shame. Just a few days ago, I was watching a video in Obalende in Lagos where some group of people were fighting, and there was a police station around that area, we were told. And the police was nowhere to be found. In fact, we heard that the police ran into their station and locked themselves up. You know, can you imagine that? Where the real deal happens, you don't find the police to come in. They ran away. I'm sure from the experiences of what happened last year during the NSAS protest, they might have been traumatized by it. But that's the kind of policing. The kind of policing we have in Nigeria is a kind of policing where they come to attack the ones that look harmless. Bullying. Yes, WSR1 TV says, every day it's becoming evidently clear that Nigeria is managed by mediocrity to the mediocre. Mediocrity appears great, which was why someone will blame Bitcoins for recent Naira depreciation. Absolutely. Absolutely. Like mediocrity all around. When people call the police that they're armed robbers somewhere, instead the police will advise you don't go there. They don't even make an effort to go close to where the armed robbers are. When you hear about kidnapping and killings, they stay away. But the moment they see their fellow citizens who are just talking, basically just raising their voice to say, I have not eaten, they have kidnapped my family member, that there is insecurity, there is injustice, there is inequality in the land or on the land, then they wake up and they bring their guns to face such people. How cowardly can you be? And so it's a shame that the Lagos state government came up with an excuse of the reason why the protest shouldn't hold. Of course, they came up with all sorts of excuses, but the final one was that because of the virus going around, they would not allow for people to, to assemble in large numbers. And I just could not understand that, because when they're holding political meetings and rallies and stuff, even in recent days, you notice that there is no COVID-19 protocol being observed anywhere. But the moment the people want to come out and protest peacefully, then they come up with all sorts of things. As early as 6-7 a.m., I was up here trying to find information on what might be going on at the Lekki toll gate. And you could see they already unleashed the police to go ahead to the toll gate, not because they're going to go there to protect the protesters who have come to protest peacefully, but because they had a game plan. The game plan is pick them up one after the other. And unfortunately, the few ones who arrived early were taken away just like that. You know, when you begin to talk about Nigeria's issues, you can go on and on and on, and there is not a second where it is a beautiful story. There is not a moment where it is a beautiful story, unless, of course, we want to look at it as usual as we do from the angle of spirituality or from the angle of religion, where we cast and bind. But the actual truth and reality is so far from all the casting and binding and the prayers and what we wish for. Of course, as human beings, we cannot lose hope, because that's the only thing you have as a human being. the moment you lose hope, you begin to die. So basically, what they have done is to stifle the protest by going ahead so that they can arrest the people. On the other hand, I was thinking that if it was a situation where the people were able to gather at a place in large numbers and came together to the Lekki toll gate, what could have happened? What would have happened? I'm going to play another video of lawyer Dele Farotimi, who was giving, he was talking about the protest that was slated for today at the Lekki toll gate. And this is a learned man, but I want you to hear his view and his view on the protest at the Lekki toll gate.
If there is facts, I became aware of the planned protest day before yesterday, found it online just like any other Nigerian. But in the immediate aftermath of the NSAS protest, after the brutal murders that took place on the 20th, some of us became inadvertently involved because care had to be taken of the injured. We had to provide assistance to most of the victims. So I have a channel of communication and I speak with the young people, especially the ones from the Lekki toll gate. So when it was brought to my attention day before yesterday, that in reaction to the news of the reopening of the toll gate, there was a planned protest for Saturday. My original reaction was, why now? And I was having these discussions with the organizers, and then I saw the different reactions online. They no bond them, Papa well, defend Lagos. So again, when you weigh these two, the first thing I asked myself was, however much I might disagree with the exercise of a right, it is incumbent on me, once I recognize that it is the person's right, to defend their right to exercise that right. It is a democratic right. In a democracy, even though we are not one, we pretend to be one, that people should be able to express their disagreement as long as it is done peacefully. But to now have reactions where people are being threatened for daring to express a desire to protest, it is repugnant in the extreme and it is fascist. This is still a democracy. The only thing anyone might want to speak about is, please let the government ensure that it does not degenerate into violence, because it is always the government that introduces the violence. But as a right, let's think about that as a principle first. Does the citizen have a right to protest?
I wanted to continue playing that video.
Nobody can dispute that.
Okay,
yes,
Dele, I want to ask at this point, because the premise of the law is that one right ends where another right begins.
Yeah.
You may not have time to answer this in full, but I'll just throw down the question to get us going. And I just want to maybe just qualify. The government, it's not proven that the government always introduces the violence. But moving on, some people may have rightly been concerned that protests at the toll gates may impinge on free movement.
You heard Dele Farotimi, who we have had on this program before, talk about the government are the ones that introduce violence first. I'm also looking for a material to show to you, a broadcast from one of my friends on YouTube yesterday. I'm going to first take a read from Gad Atsu Barasu. He says, "We will continue reaping the risk of education, religion, and political mockery, which is called democracy. Africa must wake up. We are actually heading towards revolution on the continent." Absolutely. There is, in a subtle way, there is a revolution that is going on in our minds. We're beginning to think. We're beginning to, resist all form of, you know, um, all form of mistreatment and disrespect from anyone around the world, including our leaders. But I want to look for this video and play it. The reason I want to do that is because yesterday I was watching WMTV. In his broadcasts, my friend Chidi was mentioning he actually went ahead to do a research, because sometimes we watch broadcasts and we hear other people's opinions, and when we hear their opinions, we are quickly dissuaded or persuaded for certain people who are when they say when the wind blows, some people just go here and there. They're really nowhere, so other people's narrative become theirs because they have no opinion of their own. So sometimes you hear on certain issues, you hear someone come on screen and talk about certain things, and then you're quickly thinking, oh, maybe he's right, maybe they're right, maybe I was wrong thinking this way. Because there was a counter protest that was also planned for today. The counter protest was to go against the Occupy Lekki protesters. And when my friend Chidi went on to look for this particular person who made himself, in that interview, made himself look like he was not affiliated to any political parties. He didn't have any connections to any godfathers or political big boys in Nigeria. And then he was there talking about the reason why they're going to also come out to protest. But the reason they're coming out is because whatever his reason was about the love they have for Lagos, the love they have for Nigeria, and these other people are coming out to just disrupt, lives and activities of Lagos State. But when Chidi went on to research this particular individual, we were shocked to find out that as much as he thinks he's so smart in coming out and talking all that garbage, everything he posted on his social media platform had to do with Buhari, had to do with what's this Bodilon guy, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, Sanwo-Olu. You could see pictures of him and Lagos State Governor, President Lagos State Governor, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and APC stalwarts and whatever. Such a person comes out to deceive and discredit the genuine intentions of people who want to come and protest for all the right reasons, and then makes himself look like he is not affiliated to any of these, people, only for us to find out that he is one of the thugs. I will call him a thug because that's what he is, a young man, a very young man who sadly have allowed himself to be used for God knows how much money they've given him, because of course they do give a lot of money. They will compensate you very well. If today's protest had gone ahead, that particular young man, gentleman, would have then come in as a counter protester to cause havoc, and then make himself look like he's an ordinary citizen who is not in agreement with the people who want to occupy Lekki toll gate. A lot of us would have been confused, because we would have thought he's genuine, but we would not have known that the government have actually hired him to hire other lost young people, or hungry young people, because of course what they have done is weaponize hunger in Nigeria. Because the truth is, when someone is hungry, there is hardly anything you're going to tell them that is going to make them think with their right, correct senses. It's about survival first. So if this protest had gone on and this other person had come in with their own gang, then they would have caused a lot of problem, because they would have somehow become, there would have been some kind of confrontation. there would have been some kind of confrontation which would have led to some kind of violence erupting, which would then give the government an excuse once again, to kill innocent people. It's a shame that this person is a youth that we would have thought that with all this sensitization that is going on, with all this talk we've been having on different platforms, that people like that would have been, somehow rescued from the claws of these demonic people who hold political offices. Let me take a few read. Welcome, Benga Daniel Jr., Otumba Benga Daniel Jr. Please feel free, everyone. You can call in on the number +44 7459 349175 on WhatsApp. Call in and make your contributions. And if you want to appear on screen, just text message to WhatsApp flash guest, and we will bring you on screen. Benga Daniel says, not surprised with decision made by Lagos statement against the peaceful protest planned for today at Lagos Tollgate. The fact remains that freedom of expression is not allowed. It's an indication that government in power is purely dictatorship government. The spirit of democracy can never reign in Nigeria as long as PMB is in power. No fundamental. Sorry, I'm trying to scroll to see the rest of the message. I can't see. Hey, Twinkle Oruwariye, welcome. Welcome. So if you'd rather call in to give your contributions, please feel free to do so. I can't see the rest of the message. Give me a moment. Sorry. No expression of freedom. The government is not for the masses, but for the few. Reasons for violence in Nigeria. Absolutely. Otumba, you're absolutely right. That's what it is. But you know what? We are sick and tired of Buhari's bullying. We're sick and tired of the bullying. You can see that even political office holders, governors are now beginning to have the courage to speak up, like the governor of Benue State, Governor Otom. So we've gotten to that point. We have gotten to that point. The only people who are happy in Nigeria right now are the people who are benefiting currently from the state of affairs in Nigeria. But some of us are not selfish. We're not interested in what we get as long as the large masses are not taken care of. We are not happy, and there are loads of people, loads of Nigerians like that. Twinkle Oruwariye said they wanted to turn the protest upside down so they could kill more innocent people. You're absolutely right. That's what they wanted to achieve. Because when I listened to that young man talk yesterday and then find out that everything that he represents is with these people in power who mean who have not shown in any way, shape, or form that they have the intention, they have Nigeria at heart. It's all about their pocket. There's someone who rightly said, someone who should wake up. Who was that? Oh, it was Aisha Yesufu. I listened to her, who said that someone who should stop playing the servant, the slave. He should get up, man up, and take the position of the governor of a state, instead of waiting to be told by his by whoever gives him orders. And of course, everyone knows who put him there. It's Bola Ahmed Tinubu. So that's where the orders come from. So, well, if we are not going to be able to, a lot of people are shying away from calling in or wanting to come on screen, which I thought would have been an exciting exciting thing to do, to have you guys come on screen to just voice your opinion, make your contributions, or call in. We're going to be rounding up, and in rounding up, I just want to make mention of the fact that all these broadcasts that we do, there are many platforms, many platforms on social media. It's YouTube, it's Facebook, it's everything else. There are young people. There are young people who have taken it upon themselves to continue to sensitize young people on the continent, and in this regard, Nigerians. Tunji Big Samofe says, how do we send requests for today's show? Or you can call in on the number that is on the screen. Call in on +447459349175, or you can message us as flash guests to the same number, and we will bring you on screen to talk. You can come on screen to talk, or you can call in to make your contributions. Anyone that suits you. Oh, Sister Monica Oladujoye, welcome. You know, some of us have taken it upon ourselves to do this, what we're doing, you know, to come up here at least once a week to talk about these issues, because we know that we're making a difference. We are making a difference. However little, we are making a difference. Mindsets are changing. There is a lot more insight to a lot of the issues that we have to deal with. There are people who depend on platforms like this to find a little bit of clarity on certain issues, or a little more information, or be a little more educated on pertinent issues, or topical issues. And we're doing our little bit, you know. But the truth is, just the other day I read in Ghana now, the schools in Ghana will now go back to sewing their school uniforms with African fabric. And for me, that was like, hallelujah. Why? Because it begins in those little steps. It's a big deal. It is a big deal that even if I came to get a job in Nigeria, I want to get a formal job, a certain kind of job where I have to turn up in an office, everyone is expecting me to dress in a certain way, like the European will dress, like a British man would dress, or a British woman would dress, like wear suits and wear ties. And have we spent a moment to think about the reason why they dress the way they dress? Why would somebody be living in such a hot climate in Nigeria and be tied up, sweating profusely, looking like he's about to pass out, but he then has to wear that suit in that hot country, because that is when he's accepted to look like he is a professional? And so hearing that Ghana is now going to make all the schools in Nigeria, in Ghana, where be made out of African print or African fabric, that makes me really happy, because we're getting somewhere. Ghana will start, another country will follow, and another country will follow, and so on and so on and so forth. Before you know it, we begin to then appreciate our fabrics and understand that we are not, we shouldn't value ourselves according to the Western clothes that we wear on our bodies. Chidi Nabs, welcome. Thank you. He says, I'm enjoying this program. Yes, so Tunji Big Sam Ofei, if you have got the number, you can call in, or if you want to come on, please let us know, because we're about to round up really quick, really soon. Yes. So when we do these programs, Africa Rise is about informing, educating, reinvigorating, you know, because at some point we were all giving up on this Africa. We were giving up on this Africa. A lot of us didn't even understand where our problems are coming from. We run away from the African continent to Europe, to America, to everywhere else, and failing to understand the fact that if we can raise our voices to change the narrative, to change the narrative and change the sort of people that take that we allow to take positions of authority in government, that we can then stay back at home if we so choose, and make our countries and envy to the rest of the world, so that when we too go abroad, we go because we want to learn about other cultures, other locations, other countries. We just go on holiday and then we go back to our beloved countries, like the Europeans will do, like the Americans will do, instead of looking for a way to run off. Someone might say, look at you, look at who is talking. Where is she? Where is she leaving? She's in London. She's Nigerian. Yes, I'm here, but I didn't come here. I didn't come here to live here because because I wanted to run away. If anything else, I wanted to always live in my home country, Nigeria. We all have our different reasons. There's nothing wrong in living in a different country, but these platforms we have built is to begin to sensitize us, educate us, making us understand these things, that there is really nothing in those places that we're running away to, apart from the fact that their governments have set up systems that allow them to thrive and compete favorably with amongst themselves. You know, so it's a pity and it's a shame that I don't know, we just need a big miracle to happen in Nigeria, especially. We need a big miracle. How did we end up with such a government? I don't understand. How did we end up here? What kind of curse? What did we do wrong? If it's karma, if it's nemesis, I think we have paid enough. I think enough blood have been spilled on the land. And we ask God for his mercy at this point to please bring us out of this. Because when you look at what is going on in Nigeria, you're wondering. In fact, when I see people taking pictures, looking good, a little happy, and I'm thinking, is it because I'm far away? But then that's just one side of the story. There are not many people who have such realities in Nigeria. The majority of people who live back home in Nigeria don't wake up looking, having nice clothes to wear from their wardrobe to take pictures. They don't have food, like the young man at Lekki Tollgate who said he walked all the way from Surulere to Lekki Tollgate today to protest. And that even if he was arrested, he didn't care because he didn't even have food in his house, in his home to eat. Tunji Big Samofe says, tried incoming, but not connecting. Really? You should check the number again. Check the number again. It shouldn't be a problem on WhatsApp to call or to come on. Benga Daniel says, the fact remains that peaceful protest is the key necessary for injecting meaningful collective expression of issues affecting the masses. In any civilized nation, this is the goal of the protesters. Why would government be making mockery of the Constitution, preventing the peaceful protest if they don't have anything to hide? Of course, we know they have something to hide. They have an agenda. A lot of people are scared to say it. There are people who are scared to say it, but that's the truth. There is an agenda. We don't know what it is fully, but we see the handwriting on the wall, like they say it. You know, so many things have just gone wrong. So many things have gone wrong. And the only way to fix it, really, like most people have been calling for now, we're at that point. We are at that point. We no longer want to be threatened by a group of people who feel like violence is a monopoly that belongs to just them. You know, it can be monopolized by just them. Nobody wakes up in the morning and say that I'm going to be violent. Nobody wants to make trouble. Everybody just wakes up. An ideal situation for most normal thinking people is a peaceful world where everyone is successful and just living peacefully, and all they want is to be happy. But unfortunately, we also have people who have been conditioned to think a certain way that does not work well with civilized society, you know, which is, look at the killing and maiming that goes on daily in Nigeria. Just the other day, Professor Wole Soyinka I heard his home was attacked. And then when you get a Nobel laureate like Soyinka come out to say things like, the next time they attack my home, there will be a lot of suya. Then you understand. It's like these people are just dragging everybody to their level. They just keep dragging everybody to the gutters, dragging everybody to the gutters. That's what they're doing. As a human being, we all have survival instincts. I might be holy and holy and holy, but the moment I see that you want to sniff my life out of me, I will become the animal inside of me will come out to defend myself. We don't want to live in a society like that in the 21st century, for crying out loud. Gad Atsu Barasu from YouTube says, the day Nigeria and Ghana will wake up, Africa will wake up. Good people are not in politics in Africa, rather criminals who are trained by the grandchildren of our slave masters. You are so right. I can see Tunji Ofeyi is available here. I'm going to put him on screen to make his contributions really quickly. Hello. Hello, Tunji.
Hello. Yeah, good to be on your show, Susan.
You're welcome. Please go ahead and make your contributions to what today's topic is about.
Yeah, I believe you're talking about the NSAS protest. Yeah, that was what was advertised. I've been following it all morning, and it's highly disappointing to see the excessive use of power. You can see the police looks like they're going to war, whereas the people on the ground are just harmless and defenseless youths of Nigerian people who are asking for the betterment of our country, which includes the police themselves. These police people on the street with these guns and ammunition. Some of them can't even pay their children's school fees. If you go to their barrack, you feel very, very sorry for them. It's not something I wish for my enemy to even experience. But yet they are the same people who are so passionate, and they come on the street to attack the same people fighting for all of us, including me that doesn't even live in Nigeria, because I have people over there. Even if I don't have people over there, I think it's in our DNA. I'm part of the Nigerian people. You can carry any other passport, American, United Kingdom passport, it's not going to change the feeling. It's like you're watching Super Eagles play, even England. You can be British as well, where you can't support England. It's just the way it is. Home is where you really connect with. And I feel very sad to see all this happening on our street. How are we going to get out of this? I really don't have one silver bullet for that. But I think it's starting. That's how the Arab Spring started. You know, revolution is never really planned. That's why the police seems to be having the upper hand today. I'm sorry to use the word upper hand. It looks like I'm making it a game. But I think that's what it actually is now at the moment, unfortunately. But because revolution is always unplanned, that's the revolution that succeeds. Arab Spring wasn't planned. It took only, that young man in Tunisia setting fire on himself. And that's what claimed the life of dictator like Gaddafi, who has been there all years. This was something that started in Tunisia, and he ended his own reign of terror in Libya, and all of the Mubarak in Egypt. The whole thing just started like that. So the Nigerian police, well done for yourself, clap for yourself for today. You've had your day, because this was like, you've been forewarned. That's why you roll out all your tanks, and it seems like you can even fight Boko Haram, or, the real things you're supposed to be doing. It's your day, but the real revolution will come unplanned unless you change your ways. And the government of General Buhari. Thank you. That's all I'm doing.
Absolutely. Thank you, Tunji. Thank you so much. It's true. When the real revolution is going to come, it's going to come unplanned and unannounced. And what's going to happen? Do they think they're going to keep stifling us because they're going to turn up at the places where we intend to protest with guns and arrest us and throw us into vans, make us look like criminals? We leave our homes looking like respectable human beings, and they throw us into trucks, taking off our shirts and making us look like we're some kind of armed robbers they've picked up. WSR1 TV says a jamboree was organized to demonize Goodluck Ebele Jonathan. Now nobody can protest without government muscles harassing and killing people indiscriminately. It is true. If, for a very long time, I had in my heart a lot of anger towards Professor Wole Soyinka. Because why? He's one of the people who ushered in this government of wickedness, government of cluelessness, government of, I don't know what else to qualify them with or by. He is one of the people who ushered them in. And now he's one of the ones receiving because he dared to speak up. But when Jonathan was there, everybody could talk. Everybody could insult him. Everybody could make jest of his wife. Everybody could make him look like a fool. Now we got what we wanted. It's a shame, regardless of whether he ushered in this government, he's not a spirit or he's not all-knowing God to know that this particular set of people or this Buhari will be as, I don't know what else to say. I'm trying not to be insulting, but the only words coming into my head as I'm talking about these are insultive words, but I'm trying not to because I don't want to offend some people. It's a shame. The only way forward, when I got Nana Kakanfo or Nana Kakanfo of Yoruba land, Gani Adams on this program, I've had him. I brought in, who else? There is one chorus that seemed to reverberate over and over again, which is the fact that Nigeria has to restructure. Nigeria should restructure if we still want a country called Nigeria. Because until we go back to regional governance or whatever they might call it, no, we can't see a way out of this mess. We're in a big mess in Nigeria right now, where some illiterates, bloodthirsty human beings, who the government say are not Nigerians, walking through our borders, have the freedom to walk around our country, go into our bushes and our forests, heavily armed, raping, pillaging, all sorts of evil. Yet the government can't do anything about it. What is the Nigerian army for? The Nigerian army, every army of every country is supposed to be there to defend from external is the word. Defend. The army is supposed to defend Nigeria against external forces. If the Nigerian government, the National Assembly, and certain individuals in the political sphere in Nigeria have come out to say that these so-called headsmen are not Nigerians, it is ascertained they are not Nigerians, why then are they allowed to roam about freely in Nigeria, causing mayhem and getting away with it? Unless, of course, they have a more sinister plan for Nigeria and Nigerians. Gad Atsubarasu says, freedom is on the way in Africa, and there shall be a common song of Jerusalem, my home, all over Africa, and we cannot wait for that revolution. Oh Chineke, we are wanting. Oh Chineke, we are wanting from South Africa. Oh Chineke, I thought that's Igbo. Yes, WSR1 says, go ahead. Absolutely. When I sit down here, and I am pained, just like Tunji Ofehi was saying, as when you leave Nigeria as a Nigerian, there's something that you walk away with. It doesn't matter if you have a British passport, American passport, or some European passport. There is that thing in you that makes you so Nigerian that even if you live in a place where you wake up, there is electricity, there is food in your refrigerator, you can eat whatever you choose to. At least you work and you get paid regardless of whatever job you get to do. The truth of the matter is there is that thing about being in Nigeria that never leaves you. And that's that driving force that makes me come up here as an African, as a Nigerian, to keep on talking about salient issues or topical issues that I know that concerns us, regardless of whether it is 10 people, 20 people, 30 people, 100, 1,000 that get to hear from my platform. Those are the people who are going to go and keep spreading the word, and that is how we're going to keep educating ourselves, informing ourselves, disabusing our minds, and finally gathering the kind of momentum that we need to nip it in the bud, as they say, with this ineptitude of a government that we call government in Nigeria. Like, who was it that mentioned that once Nigeria and Ghana is at least on gaining some kind of traction. When the herdsmen thing started in Ghana, the president woke up and said, it's not happening. He gave an order and said that anywhere you see nama or cow, kill them and eat them. Anywhere you see them in the metropolis, they don't belong there. But in Nigeria, nothing was done, nothing was said, because even the president is supposed to be some kind of herdsman, even though he's not walking his cows on the street. So his association, his colleagues, he's in protecting his colleagues basically at the expense of the rest of Nigeria. And quickly, we're going to be rounding up now. Benga Daniel says, should COVID-19 epidemic rolled into 2023? Should COVID-19 epidemic rolled into 2023? Will Nigerian government tell the protesters not to go out and vote? Right. There is clear evidence that Nigerian government makes decision that suits them, not for the masses. It's shameful and disgraceful. Soon war is inevitable in Nigeria. Most patriotic Nigerians have testified to this, although it's not the best solution, but PMB's government is asking for it and will surely get it. You know, reading that it's sad, but it's the truth. It's sad. Nobody wants war, but it gets to the point where Nigeria is like that woman who have been abused in any way you can think of. A certain group of people in Nigeria have bore the brunt of this abuse. And how, I thought they say justice is blind, but not in this case in Nigeria. The rest of Nigeria can go to blazes, can die, they can kill them, and the president doesn't say anything. Or the president will come out to make statements like, give orders like, TV stations should no longer show the faces or the images of the so-called herdsmen when they commit crimes. Are we fools? I know we're not. We're not fools. To a certain extent, we have been crippled with fear that have now begun to leave us. And as I round up today's broadcast, I just want to say that as Africans, we're beginning to find our voice on the world stage. As Africans, we're beginning to find our place in the world. We're beginning to find our confidence, ourself. Nigeria should stop dragging the continent of Africa backwards, because basically that's what Nigeria is doing. A lot of people from other countries have said that when Nigeria gets it right, the rest of Africa will get it right. This is not a time to allow religious bigots. This is not a time for nepotism. This is not a time to allow uneducated people take on sensitive positions. Like, seriously, uneducated people. No, I don't mean any disrespect for people who are not educated, but they are qualified people who will be able to handle Nigeria as a country, who are sophisticated, educated enough to handle Nigeria as a country. Whether you're a Christian, whether you're a Muslim, I don't care anymore. Nobody should come with religion to say you want to lead Nigeria, because I have seen how disappointing even the so-called people who come as Christians have been. Yes. So we want to get to a place where we have the right people in governance, in government. And so come 2023, I know these evil people are already planning on how to manipulate 2023, but by the special grace of God, they will not succeed, because we are not going to let it happen. We must continue to raise our voices. And for the people on ground who are brave enough to take the bull by the horn, God be with you, protect you, and soon we will find our own promised land as Nigerians, because the abuse is enough. Enough is enough. We've gotten to that point now. I didn't want this broadcast to go on for so long today, but it did. It is sad what is going on in Nigeria, but at least today, no lives have been lost. We're absolutely grateful to God for that, because I was silently worried, but I thought they would have been so foolish to come out again to shoot at innocent protesters, because that would have spelled doom for them. Yes, there they would have met their Waterloo, because the world is watching, you know. But thank goodness, the way forward as far as the protesting goes, I don't know. I'll put my ears to the ground to see what's next. But as Nigerians, we should be encouraged. We should be encouraged, and we should understand that our future is really in our own hands. Whether you have a family member who is in government today, who is giving you little trickles, that's not a future that you deserve. That is not a future you want for yourself, for your future generation. We want a future where when your child is not feeling well, you can actually walk into a hospital that is functional, that have equipment, that have qualified medical personnel. We want a future where our children can go to school, especially have free education from primary to secondary, especially a country that have a lot of natural resources. We want a future where one man does not become larger than the entire country. We want a future where one man does not give weapons to a group of people in the society to use against a group of people in the society, and nobody can talk about it. We want a fair playing ground. We look forward to having a Nigeria that finally is respectable. To be honest with you, I am beginning to feel really, my entire life, I have never felt embarrassed or pained even saying Nigeria, Nigeria. It was such a proud thing for me to say before now. But I'm beginning to tone it down, because I don't know. I don't know, you know. Victor Jordan, thank you for joining. I don't know really but we should not give up. But one of the things we must know is that we can only choose to die either ways, as cowards or as brave people. Because the choices left in front of us right now we're not left with many choices right now. You know, it's like either way, something terrible is going to happen. Are you going to look death in the face and die as a coward, or you at least give it a fighting chance by standing for what is right when it comes to casting your votes, when it comes to speaking up and lending your voice for justice? Thank you guys for joining today's broadcasts. I know that I've talked a lot today. I did hope that a lot more people would have the courage to join me on screen, or at least call in to make their contributions. But as we go on, I know that you will find the courage to do so in other episodes. It's been Africa Rise with Susan West, and today we have talked about, well, just rub minds on the ban on cryptocurrency in Nigeria and the Lekki toll gate protest that should have happened today. And so like, follow us on Facebook. It is Africa Rice TV on YouTube. Subscribe. And when you do, please press the bell button. If you're watching on YouTube right now, subscribe and press the bell button. Like and follow us on Facebook and Instagram. It is Africa_Rise.tv on Instagram. And of course, on Facebook, it is SWOB21, SWOB21 on Facebook. Like and follow us. Continue to send in your contributions and share this broadcast even after we've come off live. And I will see you tomorrow. Tomorrow, we have an interesting guest. You don't want to miss him. You don't want to miss our guest for tomorrow. If you want to be informed, educated, and motivated, and, so on and so forth. Thank you so much. I love you all. God bless you. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.